Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. As the NFL training camps officially open, there's an undeniable buzz around Atlanta, a team that's been quietly building up for another shot at glory. The Falcons, after a whirlwind offseason filled with strategic moves and some tough cap decisions, now find themselves at a pivotal point. They've made some interesting signings, but the real excitement is about what's still on the table, the players who could come in and make an immediate impact, and how the team's roster is shaping up for the upcoming season. If you've been following Atlanta's offseason, you already know that the team, led by head coach Arthur Smith, is aiming to elevate their game, especially on the offensive side, where they've invested heavily in talent like Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier. But let's face it, the NFL is a league of constant adjustments, and the Falcons are no different. They've been strategic, smart, and selective, knowing that to compete at the highest level, they need to fill some gaps that could prove decisive during the grueling 17-game grind. Now, as training camp kicks off, the Falcons' roster is in a state of flux, with players reporting and coaches fine-tuning everything from blocking schemes to special teams. But what's really intriguing is the list of potential free agent targets that analysts are buzzing about. Despite their limited cap space, something that's been a challenge for Atlanta, they've managed to bring in some seasoned veterans like Leonard Floyd, the edge rusher, and linebacker Divine Deablo, along with safety Jordan Fuller. These signings were strategic, filling specific needs on defense without overextending financially. But the question remains, who else could the Falcons bring in to push the roster even further? Well, a recent analysis by Pro Football Network has shed some light on this, highlighting 4 potential free agents who could really make a difference in Atlanta's pursuit of a deep playoff run. Among the names on that list is Jeff Wilson, the running back who could bring some much-needed versatility and experience to Atlanta's backfield. Now, Atlanta already has Bijan Robinson, a rookie phenom, and Tyler Allgeier, who's shown promise. But adding Wilson could give them that extra spark, especially in a role that involves special teams coverage. Wilson's familiarity with schemes from his time in San Francisco makes him an intriguing option, especially since the 49ers system is quite similar to what Atlanta employs, and that could accelerate his adaptation. Let's not forget that Wilson, while not a primary back, offers value as a situational player, especially in third-down situations or as a backup when needed. Teams like the Bears and Falcons could be eyeing him, given their need for depth at the position, and Wilson's special teams contributions could tip the scales in his favor. But of course, the backfield isn't the only spot where Atlanta might look. The tight end position remains a point of interest. Kyle Pitts, the former top 5 pick, is undoubtedly the centerpiece of the Falcons' tight end room, a player with unmatched athletic ability and the potential to be a true offensive weapon. But as we all know, the NFL is a tough business, and the uncertainty surrounding Pitt's future contract status and injury history makes adding a reliable backup or veteran presence a smart move. That's where someone like Hayden Hurst comes into play. Hurst, a former first-round pick himself, brings veteran leadership and a wealth of experience to the table. He's been a reliable target and could serve as a solid backup to Pitts, especially considering Atlanta's recent trade that sent a second-round pick and a 5th-rounder to acquire him from Baltimore back in 2020. Although that trade didn't quite pan out as expected, Hurst still offers value, especially in a system that emphasizes tight ends as versatile weapons. And speaking of tight ends, Gerald Everett enters the conversation as well. Everett, who had a notable stint with the Los Angeles Rams and then with the Seattle Seahawks under Pete Carroll, is now a free agent heading into training camp. His experience and route-running ability could be a nice addition, especially as Atlanta looks to diversify its offensive options. With OC Zach Robinson coming from the Rams, there's a good chance that Everett's familiarity with similar schemes and his past chemistry with coaching staff could make him a viable option. Teams like the Lions, who are also looking for depth behind their main tight end, could be in the mix. For Atlanta, adding Everett could mean a dependable third tight end, giving the offense more flexibility and options, especially considering Pitt's injury history and the need for reliable targets in critical moments. Now, let's not forget the defensive side of the ball, which has been a focus for the Falcons in recent seasons. One of the names that has come up in recent discussions is veteran cornerback Mike Hilton. Yes, he's 31, but Hilton has proven that age is just a number when it comes to his production. Over the last 4 seasons, he's consistently earned PFF grades above 70, which is impressive for a nickel cornerback. His ability to play in the slot, cover tight ends, and contribute in run support makes him a valuable asset, especially for teams looking to strengthen their secondary. The Falcons, who have been experimenting with different players in the nickel role, could see Hilton as a perfect fit, someone who can come in and immediately bolster their coverage units. The Rams, Raiders, and Falcons themselves are all potential landing spots, but Atlanta's recent signings and draft picks, including Deal Ford and Keith Taylor, suggest they're also looking to develop their secondary from within. What's fascinating about this entire scenario is how Atlanta's front office is navigating the cap restrictions while still trying to add quality pieces. They've been smart, signing veterans with proven track records, but not overspending on players who might break the bank. For instance, Hilton, while still capable, isn't likely to demand a huge contract, and his experience could be crucial in helping younger players develop. Meanwhile, players like Wilson, Hurst, and Everett, although they're free agents, are not likely to command exorbitant contracts either, especially considering the current market trends. This strategic approach allows Atlanta to stay flexible, keep their options open, and be ready to make moves during training camp if injuries or performance issues arise. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Do you think the team should pursue any of these free agents? Are there other players you feel could make a difference? The roster is shaping up, and with players officially reporting for camp this week, we're about to see how everything unfolds in real time. The excitement is building, and I know many of you are eager to see how Arthur Smith and his staff will mold this team into a playoff contender once again. Remember, the NFL season is a long, grueling journey, filled with surprises, injuries, and unforgettable moments. But with the right additions and smart management, the Falcons have a real shot at making some noise in 2024. So, as players report and practices commence, keep an eye on how these negotiations and signings develop. The team's depth chart might look a little different after camp, and that's what makes this time of year so thrilling for us fans. The Falcons have a solid core, and now it's about filling those last few gaps, sharpening the roster, and getting everyone on the same page. The upcoming season promises a lot, and with the NFC South as competitive as ever, every game will count. The Saints, Panthers, and Buccaneers are all looking to make their mark, but Atlanta's focus is on building a team that can compete with anyone and hopefully bring that Super Bowl trophy back to Georgia. And before I go, remember that training camp preview I mentioned earlier. It's packed with all the latest insights, full practice schedules, and detailed roster analysis. Make sure to check it out so you can stay ahead of the curve and be the most informed Falcons fan out there. As we get deeper into the preseason, every practice, every play, and every roster move will be crucial in shaping the narrative for Atlanta's season. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep supporting your team no matter what. The 2024 season is just around the corner, and I genuinely believe that with the right moves, the Falcons can surprise a lot of people. The road to the Super Bowl is never easy, but with determination and smart management, Atlanta has the talent and the grit to chase that dream once again. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So, as the offseason moves into full swing and players prepare for what could be a defining year, Atlanta Falcons fans are right to be optimistic. The roster is in a state of flux, but that's part of the excitement. Every signing, every training camp battle, and every game will tell us a story about where this team is headed. The potential free agent targets discussed here could be the difference makers in crucial moments, whether it's adding depth in the secondary, bolstering the tight end room or providing veteran leadership in the backfield. Remember, football is the ultimate team sport, and every piece counts. The Falcons have laid a solid foundation, and now it's about filling those last few gaps to complete the puzzle. Looking ahead, I think the key for Atlanta will be how well these new pieces integrate into the existing roster. The chemistry, the leadership, and the execution on the field will determine how far they can go. The NFC South is as unpredictable as ever, but if Atlanta can stay healthy, make smart decisions, and capitalize on opportunities, they could be in the mix for a playoff run. And with the talent they possess, Bijan Robinson's explosiveness, Tyler Allgeier's grit, Kyle Pitts' athleticism, and their emerging defensive stars, the potential is there. It's all about maximizing that talent, staying disciplined, and making the right moves at the right time. In conclusion, fans, this offseason has been a fascinating chapter for the Atlanta Falcons. The team's management has shown patience and strategic thinking, and the upcoming weeks of training camp will be crucial in shaping the final roster. Whether it's adding a veteran like Hilton, bringing in a versatile tight end like Hurst or Everett, or simply seeing how the young players develop, there's a lot to look forward to. The passion, the hope, and the excitement are all palpable, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds on the field. One thing's for sure, Atlanta is back in the conversation, and the 2024 season could be one of the most thrilling in recent memory. So stay tuned, keep supporting your Falcons, and let's get ready for an incredible journey ahead. Thanks for being with me, and I'll see you soon with more updates, analysis, and all the latest from the Atlanta Falcons. Let's go Falcons!